Alright, so like we do every single week, we are back with another Grow a Garden video. This week, we are going to be going over the Beanstock event. We have quite a bit to go over, starting with obviously the event that's here in the middle, as well as going over the brand new garden guide system that introduces achievements and a bunch of other really cool things. So as always, let's waste no more time. If you enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see, here we are in the middle right now. As a matter of fact, this is perfect time because it is about to go ahead and reset where the Beanstock travels back down, and we need to go ahead and grow it as an entire server. As you can see over here, the NPC has a leaderboard behind him with exactly what he is looking for. In this case, it is berry plants, and at the current time that I'm recording this, there's only about 3 plants that are accepted here, that being strawberry, blueberries, as well as grapes. I don't know if that's going to change at any point. I've tested a lot of different plants and none of them really work. But either way, we're getting sidetracked. The point is that currently the best way of doing this, just simply because they grow so fast and you can get so many of them, is using the blueberry and strawberry method. Now you can go ahead for a little bit more points, grab a couple of grapes if you have those. These do obviously take a little bit longer to grow, but the premise is pretty simple. You just go ahead and grab them, make your way over to the middle, talk to the NPC, and you can either go ahead and turn these in one by one, or you can do your entire inventory where it kind of scans through and adds them in. Now, if you notice over here, I went ahead and got 200 points for all of the stuff that I went ahead and turned in. On the leaderboard behind the NPC, it's going to keep track of every single person that contributes to the Beanstock. As long as you contribute any type of points, then you will go ahead and be able to get rewards from the Beanstock itself. On top of that, it will also count towards the overall unlocking of the shop. This will make a lot more sense once we go ahead and get the Beanstock, so I can show you guys step by step. Now, unfortunately, no one in my server is really contributing right now, so I'm kind of doing this solo. Thankfully, I have a good amount of grapes. Unfortunately, bananas don't count, even though they are technically a berry. Tomatoes also don't count, which again, technically is a berry. So unfortunately, we have to sort of resort to just strawberries and blueberries. Now, obviously, the more mutations these have and the bigger they are, the more points you're going to get. But I'm just sort of showing you right now that when it is looking specifically for berry plants, it's actually really simple for anyone to sort of take part in this. All right, so we're actually pretty close to going ahead and completing this, which if you take a look at the leaderboard, I'm pretty much heavily carrying right now. Assuming you're in first place on this leaderboard at the very end of growing the Beanstock, which hopefully this goes ahead and finishes it. No, we're almost there. But anyways, if you are in first place, you're going to be receiving sort of like a little bit of a first place reward, you could say. It's kind of just an additional thing, which if you notice right there, I ended up getting 3 of the Sprout seed packs, which are the brand new seed packs. But as I mentioned before, it is sort of just an additional reward that you get for being in first place, because once the Beanstock does grow, you'll go ahead and basically have to parkour your way up. In the process of going up, you're going to run into these Beanstock orbs. These can give you all types of rewards. You have Reclaimers, Master Sprinkler, Godly Sprinkler, bunch of different fertilizers, which we'll go over in just a second. Right there, you saw Mutation Spray Bloom. That is a new one of the mutations. And these orbs are going to be available for every single person that contributes to the growth of the Beanstock. So here's another one over here. We got ourselves another 2 Godly Sprinklers. We continue climbing up here. We got ourselves another Mutation Spray. I actually skipped one down here. This one's going to give us a Sprout Crate. And then finally, we'll make it up to the top here where we climb up and we will finally find the giant that is up here. If we go ahead and speak to the giant, the very first time that you come up here, you'll basically only have access to Sprout seed packs, the Sprout egg, and that's pretty much it. You'll need to contribute to the growth of the Beanstock a total of 7 times in order to finally be able to unlock every single thing that's in here. Now, just like they previously did, you can go ahead and spend in-game money to restock the shop as many times as you want. Just know that obviously it's going to be increasing every time you do it. If you decide not to do this, then you will have to wait 1 hour for the shop to restart completely for free. Going over some of the rewards here, we have the new Sprout Seed Pack, which unfortunately, a lot of these sort of have like placeholder images right now. It's kind of weird. I feel like we're getting close to that time where the test server is actually going to shut down. So I'm surprised that they still have placeholders here, but I'll be able to show you every single one of the plants because I actually have all of these. Next up, we have the Sprout Egg. This one, same exact thing. I have every single one of these pets. We'll go over all of the details. a little bit closer towards the end of the video. And trust me, you want to find out what the golden goose does because it's kind of interesting. The next thing up is our very first seed inside of the shop, which is the Mandrake. This one is valued at 50,000. It spawns pretty commonly, to be honest. Same obviously for the sprout seed pack. Every single respawn you're going to have at least 1 or 2. Sprout egg, just like all the other eggs, it's sort of completely sporadic. Next up, we have the sprout crate. For those of you that are cosmetic people out there, you got yourself a hammock, couple pillars, a nice little entryway over here with the egg podium being the rarest thing. Now we move in to the fertilizers that I told you guys about before. These fertilizers actually come in a bunch of different ways. We have a silver fertilizer, gold fertilizer, rainbow fertilizer. There is a lot of them. I have a couple, which I believe is the silver and the rainbow. I'll show you guys what that looks like in just a second, just so that way you guys have sort of a general idea. Here is the silver fertilizer. I actually have 42 of these from doing the Beanstock event, sort of climbing up and collecting all the orbs. So if you go ahead and click on this Beanstock over here, it'll just basically turn it silver. It'll have a timer on it that says 2 hours, and then everything that pretty much grows on it is going to be silver. Rainbow one, on the other hand, I only have one. So a part of me really wants to make this count, and lately what I've been using a lot of is sort of my strawberry bushes, as odd as that sounds, but that's really what's been helping the most with this event. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and click on one of these, turn it rainbow, and actually it's not letting me because I'm not able to see the actual plant due to the giant strawberry that's there. There we go. Here's one. So let's make this one rainbow right here. It'll now officially be rainbow for 2 hours. To make the most of this, let me go ahead and collect everything here before I completely forget. Now back to the shop over here. Underneath the silver fertilizer, you will find another one of the seeds, which is the Canary Melon. Again, we'll be going over this in just a bit. Same goes for the Amber Heart, probably one of the coolest plants in the entire game, even though it only is a mythical. And then leading up to the Sprien. As always, we'll be going over all the pets at the very end, so make sure that you guys stick around for that. Now, you guys may have noticed that the gate in my garden over here is actually a little bit different, and this is actually found right up here at the very top of the beanstalk on this table right here. I believe in total you have to complete 9 or 10 of the contribution towards the beanstalk in order to be able to use this. Originally, when I had completed this 7 times to sort of unlock the entire shop, the beanstalk gate wasn't there, but then when I jumped onto the game, it said that I only had to complete it 2 more times. So I'm assuming that in total, you got to do it about 9 or 10 times. As a reward, you'll be given this gate right over here, which can easily be changed by looking at your sign over here and then changing it to one of the new gates. That's right, because there is more gates that you can unlock in the entire game based off of different things. The final thing that I'll sort of touch bases on here for the actual event in the middle is this portal right over here. Basically, once you go ahead and complete the Beanstalk shop by completing or contributing to the Beanstalk 7 times, you will also unlock this portal so you don't have to climb up every single time. Instead, you just sort of teleport to the top. Just keep in mind, you need to complete the Beanstalk 7 times to gain access to it. Now, this is a perfect time to go ahead and talk about some of the different things that you're going to run into here as far as what this NPC is looking for. So if you remember before, it was berry plants. Now it's gone ahead and switched to fruit plants. All right, so there's currently about 10 seconds left before the beanstalk goes ahead and restarts over here. So I should be able to empty out my inventory here. Go ahead and empty that out. Already instantly 170 fruits. We got 277 points from that. And the vast majority of those points were literally just strawberries and blueberries. Obviously, the catch is that one of my strawberry trees was rainbow over here. But yeah, you can literally contribute just as much good points only by using strawberries and blueberries. That goes both for the berry plants as well as for the fruit plants, whichever one it's asking for. I'm going to go ahead and do another inventory full right here. We're now at 528 on the leaderboard. Now, obviously, things like sugar apples are going to give you a lot more points. You can see right over here, I have a grape. This one gives me 6 points. I feel like it's kind of self-explanatory when you hear fruit plants. It's pretty easy to go ahead and just get this done. The primary point on what I wanted to point out was that strawberries and blueberries are a great option, especially with how cheap they are and how they're pretty much always available inside of the seed shop. There we go. We got ourselves another 3 sprout seed packs because we were first place once again. Either way, man, that pretty much does it for the entire event here. It should be fairly simple. If you have any additional questions, let me know in the comment section. Right now, we're going to shift over to another major thing that's going to be added this update, and that is the garden guide. So to my knowledge, this item will be placed inside of your inventory completely for free on update day. Basically, you go ahead and whip it out, click, and it's going to open up this menu right here. The very first thing that you'll notice is the player section. In here, it's going to keep track of basically the level of your garden. Every single time that you complete an achievement, it'll go ahead and sort of give you XP towards your level of the garden. You can also keep track of it over here in your sign, where everybody can pretty much see what the level of your garden is by seeing it right under your name. Now, aside from inside of here having pretty much every index as well as all of your player information, you're also going to find the daily quest now. So it'll no longer be over at the NPC. Instead, you'll find it here. Aside from that, you'll also find an index for all of the plants that you've gone ahead and discovered with full details on the most valuable one that you've gotten, the best mutations, and the heaviest harvest. It's also a really good way to kind of know what the NPC is talking about over here. For example, if we click on strawberry, it mentions that this is a berry and it's also a fruit. Unlike if we come over here to coconut, where it says that it's woody, fruit, and tropical. So woody is actually another one of the things that this NPC will go ahead and ask for at some point. He'll say woody plants that he's looking for. So coconut is one of them, as well as pine cone. To my knowledge, those are the only ones that I've been able to find. But yeah, I figured I'd include this portion just in case if you want to go ahead and find some alternatives for yourself. Now, aside from the plants, you'll also find all of your pets in here with, again, full details on everything. Cosmetic items as well. You can find out the rarity, description, source, all types of good stuff. And then, of course, the food, which we've already sort of had previously, except that it was just sort of in the middle. Overall, the most important section here is going to be achievements. In total, you have common, uncommon, rare, legendary, mythical, divine, as well as prismatic achievements. Completing each and every single one of these will give you a different reward. If you take a look over here, for common, we have shovel 100 plants, harvest 100 carrots, gift 1 carrot, sell 500 strawberries, and gift 5 strawberries. As a reward, you will be given a cooking kit as well as a silver common seed pack. I'm sure you already guessed it, but the plants that you receive from that pack will be silver, and instead of just being around for 2 hours, they will permanently be silver. Now, the cooking kit, on the other hand, that's going to be the brand new method for you to be able to cook. You basically have to complete the achievements in order to get the cooking kit, or else you won't be able to cook individual dishes, which actually are really important for this update, because if we come over here to the crafting tables, I'll go ahead and squeeze this in really quickly. If we scroll down to the bottom, there is a new item called pet pouches, which require 1 hot dog, and it increases your pet inventory slots by 1 with a maximum of 50. So in theory, you technically have to make yourself 50 hot dogs at minimum to be able to create 50 of these pet pouches. Now, over here in uncommon achievements, I actually have a couple completed. So this is sort of what it's going to look like right here. You'll have claim. You just go ahead and claim this, and it'll contribute to your level at the very top here. So right there, we just went ahead and reached level 2. Let's go ahead and claim another one here. Almost level 3. We might be able to hit level 3 because I think I completed some in rare as well. There we go. So boom, level 3. Got another one here and another one over here. Boom, level 4. We also completed some of these legendary ones. And that's pretty much it. I don't really think I need to explain what you receive as a reward, since it does show it already right here. But basically, every single one of these is just going to give you the corresponding rarity as a seed pack. At the very end, when you complete every single achievement, you will be given the Statue of Achievement, which is basically this statue of like an NPC holding I don't know, some type of symbol or something. Not really too much information on that. It could be purely cosmetic, or it could be something like the pancake stack where it has like a little secret passive to it. But if we end up figuring it out, I'll either make a follow-up video or I'll update the pinned comment on this. Now, let's go ahead and get into the good stuff, and that is the seeds as well as the pets and their passives. For starters, there is a brand new prismatic inside of the shop. It is called the Romanesco. Unfortunately, this has not been in stock inside of the test server a single time, and your boy is not spending 1,000 Robux in the test server. It also doesn't seem that a lot of other content creators are spending it, because I literally have not seen anyone with this. So unfortunately, I'll have to skip out on showing you that, but we can check out some of the other ones. Now let's start off with the stuff inside of the shop over here. In the order that you get them, I'm going to show you guys the Mandrake Seed, the Canary Melon Seed, as well as the Amber Heart Seed. All right, so here we have 3 mandrakes. This is what they look like. I'm sure you already assumed they are one-time use. Over here, we have one for 55,000. This one is 175,000 with Windruck, and we have another one for 59,000. So usually the median for this is anywhere between 50,000 all the way up to about 75k without any type of mutation on it. And of course, this is a one-time use. This is what they look like right here. All right, so I've gone ahead and pretty much grown every single one of the plants here, made them as organized as I can. Some of these are going to take a little bit long, so for that reason, I've gone ahead and just used the magnifying glass on them to give you guys a rough estimate of what they're going to be worth. But basically right here, we're starting off with the Canary Melon. Take a look over here. On the left side, we have one that has Frozen and Bloom on it. This one is 997k. Then right here in the front, we have a plain one, no mutations, 98k. Another one on this side, no mutations as well, 79k. So actually some pretty good stuff. Sort of a little bit of a slow grow rate on the Canary Melon, but it does look like you can pretty much get a total of anywhere between 3 to 5 on each and every single one of the plants. So pretty decent, to be honest. Now behind it, we have the Amber Heart, which is sort of like the rarest one from the shop at the top of the beanstalk. This one does take a very long time to grow. On the left side over here, we have one with no mutations at 315k. Keep in mind, only one of these Amber Hearts can grow on a tree at any given time. So 315k is not really that bad. On the right side, we have a smaller one. This one is 157k. An hour and 33 minutes left on this one. Same pretty much time over here on the left side as well. Don't think I need to pretty much say this, but neither one of these are single time use. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Now, over here, we're starting off with the seed pack. We're pretty much going to go from the easiest all the way to the hardest to get, starting with the Flare Daisy. Over here, we have one that has Friend Bound on it at 1.8 million. We have another one that has no mutations whatsoever, 22k. Another one with silver on it, 113k. And then we got these two over here, no mutation, 43k, and chilled, 69k. Surprisingly, these are not single time use, so you can go ahead and put these down and use them as many times as you want. Moving on to the next thing, we have the Dusk Puff. This one is interesting. It's basically like a tree trunk that grows fungus on it. What I'm trying to say is mushrooms, but you know what I'm trying to say. Over here, we have one that has Chilled and Friend Bound on it, which I can actually go ahead and collect. I'm going to collect that one, but we have the price of a couple of these other ones. Here's a rather large one that has Chilled, 2.1 million for this one. Over here, we have a regular size one, 56k. Another one over here, no mutation, regular size, 38,000. All right, over here we have 3 mangosteen trees. These are actually fairly small, so if you notice right over here we have a chilled one, 106k. Kind of look for one that has no mutations here. One down here, no mutations, 53k. And then we also have another one a little bit on the other side here, so right there, this one is 83k. No mutation. Moving on to the Poseidon plant right over here, the blue one. We got one down here, no mutations, 59k. And then another one with no mutation, 98k. All right, so for the last one, we have the Gleamroot. I'm going to be honest, man, this one has been taking quite some time to grow. I've sort of just been standing here for like the last hour. We've literally recorded every single one of these. And I mean, dude, these are almost even done. Either way, we went ahead and got 2 of them. One over here is 73,500. And this one over here is 6.7 million, but it does have the Friend Bound on it. So honestly, some pretty decent prices considering it looks like a lot of them can grow on here. But yeah, overall, that is every single one of them except for one. And that, of course, is the 0.5%, which I believe is called a Princess Thorn, if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunately, I have not been able to get this. On the other hand, I was able to join someone's server that had one of these, and they are ridiculously large. Even the smallest one is fairly large. Now, obviously, you can see that this person has a lot of mutations on this. 609 bill for this. Kind of more or less looks like a bamboo and like a beanstalk, except that it has sort of like these thorns on it. And when you do harvest this, it does basically take the entire plant as a whole. It isn't a one-time use. Obviously, it is one that you can multiple use. So just keep that in mind. Now, unfortunately, I wish I could give you a better price on that, but that is what it looks like. So now let's go ahead and move in to the pets, their passives. We're going to sort of rapid fire through these because I do want to show you guys has the golden goose at the end in full detail. So let's start off here with the easiest one to get, which is the dairy cow. It says all plants within 10.36 studs grow 1.30 times faster. When selling this pet, it has a small chance to get a beanstalk seed. Next up, we have the jackalope. Every 98.92 seconds, it thumps its feet and has a 16.0% chance to mutate a nearby fruit, applying the sandy mutation. You've probably seen throughout the recording that this has actually happened a couple of times. I believe that one of these, this one right here, the Canary Melon, actually has sandy on it from that. Now, the next one here is one that I actually don't have, and that is a seedling. But this is what it looks like right here. And it says every 5 minutes, it swaps the mutation between two different random fruits, but it ignores your favorited fruits. Kind of an interesting one. Not sure if anybody would want this or not. Next up, before we get to the golden goose, is the Golem. This one says every 6 minutes and 36 seconds, it goes to the mutation machine and tinkers with it and advances its time by 41.76 seconds. Kind of mid in my opinion, but who knows? Maybe someone out there will stack these up. But now finally, we have ourselves the golden goose. As you can see right here, earlier today, I actually had someone trade this to me by the name of Cereal. So shout out to Cereal. He let me borrow the golden goose. And what this basically does is extremely interesting. As you can see from the footage in the background, it says every 10.10 minutes, it lays a golden eggplant on your garden that starts with the fortune mutation. The golden egg can be harvested and mutates like regular plants. So yes, every single 10 minutes, this pet will basically go ahead and walk around your farm and drop a golden egg. The cool thing about this is that the golden egg is quite expensive. It's also very, very hard to miss. If you notice, it's going to go ahead and drop it right about here. It says your golden goose laid a golden egg. It grows literally instantly, and boom, right there we have ourselves a golden egg with fortune on it. If we take a look, I'm going to use the magnifying glass on it here in a second. The value on this with just fortune is 12 million, which is insane, dude. This happens every 10 minutes. Now, I did go ahead and give it back to Cereal here, but we used actually the cleaning spray on it to go ahead and show you what the price of it is without any mutation on it. And if you take a look here, this is what the value ended up being, 241K with no mutations whatsoever. Now, fast forward back in game right now, I still actually have the egg in my inventory. It does have Windruck and Wet on it now. So if we go over here and check the price on this with just Windruck and Wet, it is valued right now at 1.4 million. So yeah, it's a really cool pet. Unfortunately, I do think that pet, because technically speaking, you can let someone borrow it and they can drop the egg in your farm or in your garden. I think that a lot of people are probably going to end up getting scammed with this. So please make sure that you guys are not letting anyone borrow your pets unless you absolutely trust them. And by that, I mean like they literally live in your house. The only other pet to show you guys is the one from the Beanstock shop. It is Sprien over here. This guy is basically going to go ahead and give you bloom. So if you notice right here, it says every 21.58 minutes, it spreads its roots, and all fruits within 30.59 studs have a 15.29% chance to get the bloom mutation. During the recording of this, it actually also happened over here at the Canary Melon, and went ahead and turned this bloom as well as this one over here bloom, which if we use the magnifying glass on this, this is valued at 4.5 million. Over here, we got 997K. So yeah, that pretty much does it for this update. Kind of a longer video, I know. There's a lot to sort of take in for this update. Again, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys next week or in my live stream right now, where we'll be going over the entire update. Take care.